Every 12-year-old in America probably knows what a biscotti is. They're cookies. You know, cookies have always been popular. There was the novelty aspect of it. It wasn't known. It wasn't, you know, cookies didn't come long slivers like that, studded with nuts. Hi, I'm Mike DiCamillo from DiCamillo family. My grandparents basically started with their 11 kids. It was in 1920, and my grandfather ran the bakery and the boys, the 4 boys he had, and my grandmother and her 7 daughters ran the store. Originally, all we did was bread, biscotti, and pizza and rolls. My brother Tom would be in charge of all production, really, and so getting it made is his part of the production.
This is the start of the process. In the bowl we have the flour, the sugar, the salt, the baking powder, and the nuts. And we're mixing it dry without any liquid because we want to get the dispersal of all those ingredients even throughout the mix. And also we want to break up any lumps of flour or sugar. Then we're going to add the liquid. And the liquid is the eggs, the vanilla, and the water. And that'll hydrate the mix, and we'll be able to take it over and mix it. This is the eggs, whole eggs. Mix them up a little bit so that we're sure we get a nice mix here. And then we're gonna add the water and the vanilla to this bucket to clean it out, and they all end up in there. Now that we've got the dough mixed, we're going to send it to the dough depositor, and we're going to extrude it out onto pans and put it in the oven. This machine was made in Italy, ideal for biscotti. This is the way it was traditionally done, and this is the way you could do it at home. This is a great cookie to make with children because it's very easy to roll along. It doesn't take any great amount of skill. So dust your table liberally. We're going to take a hunk of dough. Form a basic log. We just roll it out. Have your pans ready. And you just put the log on the pan. Now you got to give them some space because they do spread. They're going to get at least twice as wide. So space your logs off, and they'll bake better if you give them more room. And again, you don't have to be too careful because they're going to be baked again.
We also hear the other thing. My mother didn't make them like this. The ones with the nuts that we do, primarily a northern Italian production or product. The southern Italian ones were usually softer, and they used to do out of a mix that they call pane di Spagna, which is a Spanish bread, but they're usually like almost a sponge cake.
We got our dough in the oven, and it's ready to come out. It's the first bake of the 2-bake cycle. Remember, biscotti, twice baked. This is our biscotti slicer, and it's specifically built for biscotti slicing. We put them on the conveyor in the back. There's a series of blades in there. They're going to cut them, and they'll fall onto the pan. Every grandmother sliced it by hand. But at home, this is perfectly acceptable, and you can vary the width. If you're cutting them by hand, I could do a real thick one, or I could do a real thin one. So this gives you the advantage of variation. Always want to use a serrated knife on a good flat surface, because if your cutting surface is uneven, you'll break them. So a good flat surface a good serrated knife and just go to it. All right, we have the biscotti all sliced, and now we're going to put them in for the second bake. So they're crispy now, but not crisp enough. So we're going to put them in for the second bake, and this will give you a crisp cookie that'll be perfect for dunking in your espresso or your wine, which is the traditional way of eating this type. Now our second bake is finished, and the cookies are ready to come out. They're nice and crisp, and we can package them up. And some of these we'll even put some chocolate over them.
Why they're passed on, it's nostalgia. You're always trying to, recreate something your mother made. My grandfather's line was, when he bought the bakery, he said, I want to make sure everybody has something to eat. And he did it. I just hope to be part of this community for another 100 years.